What's up everyone, and welcome back to another video on the channel. So today I kind of want to go over pretty much all the problems I had with installing coilovers. Now before we begin this video, no, I'm not gonna be naming some gift card giveaway or some stupid shit like that. Before we begin this video, I just want to say that this video is not trying to persuade anyone to not use coilovers or to not install coilovers. It's simply just kind of informational, just something to take into consideration if you're planning on using coilovers. I decided to put coilovers on my daily driver, my 2007 Toyota Corolla. If you watched last video, you'll know how that went. And the car was lowered, and here we get to our first problem. It was lowered too much. So I didn't have any experience with installing a performance suspension in any car before, so it was a new experience for me. And I thought that the suspension would be so stiff that when I went to lower it, it wouldn't flex very much at all. Oh boy, was I wrong. As you saw in the last video, I couldn't even fit one finger in between the wheel and the fender, which is really bad. If you also watched the last video, you'll see that when I was backing off my driveway, the rear tires were rubbing so badly on the rear fenders. Or well, I guess fender lip. And it was just so bad. It was so bad. So I had to raise it. I raised it up one time and it still wasn't enough because I drive in an area that has awful roads. Oh no, where's my car? It's over there. I have family coming over, so they're gonna be taking my spot on the driveway, unfortunately. But this is kind of what I want to show you. You remember last video how I couldn't even fit one finger of gap in between the fender? Now I can fit about 3. And you can see this tire kind of did take a little bit of damage. It's not super bad. It's actually barely anything. But that's why you can't lower it to the extreme. On the front, it's the same. 3 fingers. I think before I could fit about 2 or maybe 1.5, and it was alright. The front barely rubbed. It rubbed on really bad corners with really rough terrain, but other than that, it was perfectly fine. So I still ended up racing the front anyway to sort of match the rear, but I mean, you know, what can I say? It's my daily. I can't, you know, go all stance boy here. This was all my fault. That I lowered the car too much, so it couldn't handle it, and overall, that was just my fault. That was my bad. The second problem I had, and it was actually also my fault, everything was my fault, was clunking in front coilovers. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but there is the coilover. It turns out that when I was tightening the front sway bar end links, turns out they didn't really tighten much at all. So there's your clunk. I also forgot to tighten the locking nut that connects to the bottom portion of the coilover, and that was also adding to the clunk. Once I tightened up both of those though, it was fine. One final thing, and it has to do with actually the stock struts, was also the end links. If you saw in my last video, I cut off those end links, and that was not a good idea. What I should have done instead was taken a pair of vice grips and clamped over a small piece behind the nut so the thread wouldn't move, and then just tighten it like that. But I didn't do that. I cut it off with an angle grinder like an idiot, which, you know what, so be it. Time for a bonus meme. It has to do with the interior. Oh shit, not my key, whatever. Pretty much, whenever I go over any bump, dashboard will rattle a little bit. But that's really just because this is a cheap car. Was it worth it to install coilovers on my daily? No. No, not really. Does it look good? Yeah. Except, of course, I messed up back here. Kind of looks like a wobbly noodle here now. And I think I cracked the paint too. Did I? Yeah. Yeah, I did. Oh, hello. Lighting sucks in this room, so that's why I have these softbox lights. Also, I recently bought this brand new, really nice and comfortable chair. Now, I know you're gonna make fun of me in the comments, like, ha ha ha, look, it's tan. Ha ha ha, you're a f. Honestly, this is the most comfortable chair I've ever used. So, to the haters, f you. So, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you, I guess, learned something. I know this video is kind of short, but like I said, I have family coming over, so I can't film as much as I could or should be doing. I know I don't post every day. I only post weekly, and honestly, it's just because I'm kind of new to this genre, so I'm taking my time to film and edit stuff. But yeah, that's just me making excuses. And until next time, peace.